The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on. He missed the complete that. He's crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield floor. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
What does LionHeart mean? They line up 33 strong in his name. The drivers will compete on the most grueling road and oval tracks iRacing has to offer. And they all strive for one goal, to become champion. We'll witness which driver can push their car to the limit and find victory lane. You're watching the premier American Open Wheel Series on iRacing. The LionHeart IndyCar Series starts now.
Quickly into the night we go and bring thunder to Hampton, Georgia. Tonight they fight for the ultimate challenge of 225 miles an hour in side-by-side racing and the victory. The Season 3 penultimate round is upon us in round 17 of the LionHeart IndyCar Series. iRacing Live and the Global Sim Racing Channel present the Dead Zone Racing 150 from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Welcome home, everyone. I'm Sean Ambrose, and tonight in the booth with me, James Krahula, my old buddy. And in the control room, twisting and tweaking the dials, the magnificent one, I'm Jed Yaman. Tonight, these amazing moving pictures are brought to you by the one and only Dougie Beard. James, Atlanta Motor Speedway. Brother, this is a great fast track, man. Probably one of the fastest out there that's not considered a super speedway. Certainly plays like one. Tell us a little bit about it.
Oh man, this track is just absolutely nuts. I've been running here, getting ready for practicing with these guys all week long. 3 wide, no one's shy about it. 1.5-mile track, quad oval, very similar to Texas, but way more wide open, a lot more bumpy. This race is just going to be pure insanity tonight. Look for something very similar to what we saw at Charlotte with a lot of pack racing out here tonight. That outside line is going to be very important, though, to kind of conserve those Firestone Firehawks. So who's going to wind up taking home the victory tonight? Jake Wright already has the championship in hand, so mostly everyone's just out here trying to get some wins tonight.
Well, you know, there is actually a lot at stake. Great battle in the top 10 still, and we look at the championship picture right now. We pull this up, take a look here, and yeah, you said Jake, well, he's locked up the championship already. Yourself in second place, although you'll be out tonight. You've got Big Joe Hassard sitting there in third, and your teammate Ricky Harden there in fourth, and Tommy Ryan there to round out the your other teammate there to round out the top 5. So, you know, that's a great run for that team of yours this season, and what an interesting battle we've got, like I said, up front for the top 5. But lots can change. You know, not a lot of points separate these guys in the top 10. Not only that, the battle for the top 20 and the importance of being locked in for next season. You know, just a little bit about the LionHeart IndyCar Series that for those of us, or for those of you that are joining us for the first time, you know, the registration's open right now. You can catch them at, LionHeart, LionHeartRacingSeries.com. Registration is open to join the series. You got to have an A-class oval I rating of 1800 plus. All races are fixed setup, 0 fast repairs. 75% fuel capacity restriction, except for their 100% fuel capacity for Triple Crown races. And again, registration's open right now. Season 4 looking to kick off sometime about the middle of March, George Gonzalo was telling me. So got some great conditions here on the track tonight. James, what's it looking like out there?
Well, we're going to have some partly cloudy skies out here tonight. Track's going to be at 97 degrees. We have 73-degree ambient temperature out there. But the main thing is we have a recipe for disaster if these guys are able to get together tonight. Again, these guys are running very close as we are watching some of these guys out here qualifying right now. Jake Wright has been fast in qualifying all week long, and I believe George Gonzalez was actually joking earlier this week that the wing on his Indy car is starting to look a lot like a Ohio State Buckeye helmet with all of his pole and winter stickers that he's been accumulating on there. So as we're currently seeing right now, Big Joe is currently leading right now, but we've only had 4 drivers currently taking time, so we'll see where everyone ends up here.
Well, here with we're already into qualifying, not much time here before we go green, but got to talk about the last race last year. Yes, we're talking about last year because it is 2016 now. But they ran at Road Atlanta. Michael DeYoung picks up his 3rd win of the season in this series. He got 2 wins at Indy, 1 on the flat and 1 on the road course there, and then wins at Road Atlanta, Road America last week, and or not last week, but a few weeks ago before we hit the break. And solid win for him. But guess what? Jake Wright finishes 2nd and even opened up his lead a little bit harder. It was a great run for Ricky Hard, and he finished 3rd, and Jason Robarge in 4th, and then Dan Guerin rounded out the top 5 there. That was a great race, and but DeYoung led all 25 laps of that. But tonight we get to some oval track racing. I don't think Michelle's here tonight. I haven't seen him show up here. Yes, he is down there on the board. Hasn't taken a qualifying time yet. You talked about these qualifying times, James. George was telling me he really thought you had to be under 24.3 to even sniff the top 10 tonight. It's shaking out that way, but there's a few fast guys lurking back there. And, one that we don't know a whole lot about. We do have a new guy here in the field tonight. They've been practicing with him with Dave Barber, and Dave Barber's out tonight, and he's running, so we'll see what Dave's got for him. But right now, Dave's sitting there in 17th. Sliding down the board with a 24.381. So there's that 3 that we talked about. But being under it's where you want to be. That looks like where the top 12 is right now, James.
Yeah, and right now, Jake Wright is currently tied with Big Joe Hassert for the pole right now. Give that slight edge to Jake Wright, though. We're having to go down past the thousands there in order to determine the person that's going to be leading down for the start of this race. Currently, we still have a little over a minute left in qualifying, though. I'm not seeing very many drivers still left on the track taking time, though, so Jake Wright's going to be feeling pretty comfortable right now.
Well, I'll tell you what, I know in the practice race last night, the qualifying for that, we had 3 guys in the practice race last night that were, tied for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, was it not, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, 3 drivers tied.
I think it was
with
with
a
267. Crazy. I think it was a 267, if I remember correctly. But yeah, that was just amazing. Looking at about a 32 to 34 lap fuel window tonight, and I got to be honest with you, I know a lot of these guys have had trouble with the car with anything under 5 gallons in it at the end of a tire run. So, I think you're going to be lucky to hit that 32, 34 window. The green flag pit stops, if they happen, and we saw it last night, really dangerous entrance in, and James, that exit out is pretty tricky, isn't it?
Yeah, it's especially when you're heading into turn 1, very, very tricky getting out of there because if you mess that up, you could head right up there under the racetrack, and then if you stay down too low there, it's very slick, and this pit road is extremely slick. One of the slickest pit roads that I've ever been on. So making sure that you're able to get out of your pit stall quickly is going to be very key tonight to make sure that you get enough traction in order to go forward. But you also need to make sure that you're keeping the car under control too, but not giving up too much time.
All right, well, let's go ahead and run down the grid for everyone. It's time. Qualifying is over. Everybody's taking time here at this point. And we're going to lead it off with, guess what? Who's on the pole? Jake Wright, going to sit right outside of him. Big Joe Hassert, both of them with a 24.257. Amazing. Tied front row there. Tony Showen, he'll start on the inside there at row 2, the number 31. George Enzalo with a great qualifying run. He was jacked up for night, told me he was going for it. He starts 4th. Corey Connor, the old Tiger there, starts 5th tonight inside of row 3. Joe Branch starts outside of row 3 there. He's coming off a big win last night in Indy 500. Congratulations to him. Brandon Lincoln will start 7th. Tony Lurcock 8th tonight in number 42. Jason Robar starts in 9th. Pete Edwins in 10th. Jack Bogan in 11th. Christopher in 12th. James, take it away.
Yeah, we're going to have Alfred E. Shepard in the 13. He's going to be starting in 13th tonight. Maybe 13 will wind up being lucky for him. And we have outside of him, Jason M. Galvin starting 14th tonight. Dan Guerin will be starting in 15th. Ricky Harden in the 05 will be starting in 16th. Chris Linney in 17th there for Dragonfly Racing. And Robert Blowen, also for Dragonfly Racing, will be starting in 18th. Patrick Taylor will be starting in 19th tonight. Ed Tutwiller will be starting in 20th. Dave Barber, the new guy, will be starting in 21st tonight. Pierre Daigle, 22nd. And Mikel de Jong, the last race's winner at Road America, will be starting in 23rd. After that, we have a couple of guys here. I'm not sure which one of those guys are going to be taking the grid, but Jesse Vincent, Michael Gray, Drew Motz, and Mark Norbert are in the server. We'll see which of these guys. I believe they're all out there. So Jesse Vincent will be starting 24th, Michael Gray 25th, Drew Motz 26th, and Mark Norbert in 27th.
Yeah, not seeing Drew take off right now, but big surprise. Jesse Vincent is in the race tonight, coming down out of race control and getting on the track, baby. That's going to light it up here.
Yeah, you know that Jesse Vincent, whenever he's in a race, you're going to have to look out for him. He's always a contender, so it's going to be very interesting. Hopefully he's able to get that pain from that surgery earlier this year taken care of, and he can make all 100 laps here tonight.
Yeah, well, Jesse is certainly one of the fastest, but here we go. They are 2 by 2 and heading into 3. Coming off the back stretch, Jake Wright leads him down. Big Joe Hassard up top there. Brother, I can't wait to get this started. Tony Showen, George Anzaldo right there in that second row. Corey
Sean,
Connor,
you going to be able to hold your breath for 100 laps? Because I feel like that the type of racing that we've been seeing, that's what we're going to see tonight.
Well, the Ford Mustang pace car is off. Here we go, the dead zone. 150, it's off, and running is Jake Wright. Pulling away from Joe Hassard, heading down into turn 1. Good, fast start. He broke away. George Anzaldo up there in the top line right now, keeping it safe. Here comes Big Joe Hassard down the back stretch, getting a run on the outside.
And then right there by Jason Rowe, Chris Stouffer, him and Jason Galvin had a very close run there on that first lap. Everyone stays straight though, and yeah, wow, already a bunch of 2 wide. Some people are trying to peak for 3 wide. This is already getting nuts.
Yeah, and
here we go. Here's a little. Nope, they got it all taken care of. But we're 3 wide there for a few seconds.
Big Joe making a break for the lead, gets under Jake Wright. He takes it. Big Joe going to cross the stripe. Your leader. Nice move by Joe. Driving it hard down on the inside. Now it's going to be tough to keep it down there for long. These tires will fall off on you if you abuse them. That high line is definitely a better place to conserve, but Joe's got it right now. He's locked in down there. Got a nice smooth line down there in the bottom, hugging the white line.
3 wide, Jason Robar. And coming out of turn 4, they get it all settled out there again, but these guys are not afraid to go 3 wide here. These guys cannot get away from each other, and they are very impatient. They've been running side by side all week long now, so they could definitely make these moves happen.
Yeah, lots of practice has gone to this. They've had plenty of time to do it. But that front pack just kind of moving away from all of them right now. Lots of dice in there. Corey Connor right in the middle of that. Man, that was close. Already here on lap 5, they are just cutting it up. George Anzaldo hanging out where he said he was going to, right up there at the top.
Smoke. Jason Galvin, he was sideways, but I think he's going to keep it straight.
He was right there.
More smoke.
We had more smoke up front. That's Big Joe. Big Joe's having connection problems, it looks like there, James.
Yeah, that's warp smoke right there. And for those of you at home that are not sure what that is, if you are having connection issues in the sim, what it'll do is it'll register your car bouncing around the track, and that's what's creating that smoke for everyone here. So no accident happening going on right now, but it's definitely getting really bad, and it's that smoke with this new build too. You cannot see through that. That's going to be horrible for the rest of the field behind them.
Yeah, and everybody's talking to Joe about it right now. Now, it looks like he's stabled out for the moment, but he's pulling down, letting the guys get by now. Good move by Joe. He knew he had a problem.
Yeah, it's frustrating there, but that's the right move to make because you see him still blinking out a little bit right there. Let that connection kind of get stabled out there and then try and make his way right back up to the front.
Now, that kind of opened things up a little bit. You know, it gave Jake a chance to get away, and right there with him, you know, that, well, like I said, Tony Shalin and Jake get to break away from that pack, but Corey Connor's starting to make a charge, getting a little bit of help from behind. Joe Branch right there with him still. Joe's still holding up near the front. Lots of guys battling behind. Galvin's recovered from that little bit of spin he had there, and recovery, he's sitting there pretty in fifth right now.
Yeah, and Big Joe having those problems there, that's going to be a blessing in disguise for Jake Wright. He gave up that bottom there. You cannot do that at this racetrack. That's the only way that these guys are going to be able to get around you here. Making that pass work on the outside, you can maybe beat them at the line, but it's very hard to get your momentum to fully clear that person in front of you if you're trying to go on the outside here. So, big blessing in disguise for Jake Wright, able to get that lead back.
Not sure what happened to Tony Lurcock, but his car is off pace, right side damage, out there by himself right now. Looked like he was going to go in the pits. I don't know if he missed the entry or what. We'll see the next time he comes around here if he'll take it in, but certainly looks like he had a tank slapper there. The right side got some pretty heavy damage on it. As he goes across the start-finish line, he keeps it out on the track right now.
Yeah, and
now,
I've been in this apron here.
Battle for the lead. Sorry there, James. Tony Shalin making that move down inside. Taking it away from Jake Wright. Jake keeping the car up top. Joe Branch right there with him. He's made his way up to those two. Looking to make a run possibly up top there with Jake Wright. Jake holding it up top.
Tell you what, if someone can make that outside work, it'll definitely be Jake. That kid is very smooth, and he knows how to get around these tracks. So he knows how to give the person below him just enough room, but keep his momentum up very smooth there on the outside. So we'll see what he's able to do here if he's able to make that outside work and try and get back around Tony Schoen.
Well, Corey Connor into the picture now. Maybe try and give a little help to Jake up there up top. We see Joe Branch. He's getting down inside there, looking to get past Jake right now. Corey thinking about splitting the middle there. Maybe making 3 wide going to the turn. Really close, but he keeps his distance just enough. Tucks it down inside behind Joe Branch. There was Lurcock coming out of the pits. Great race up front here. We got Galvin getting into the picture again. Oh, Jason Robar's trying to hang on to it.
Yep, he's dropping back.
Oh.
These guys are running so close here that just that little bit of mistake, you will drop way back as he loses about 3 or 4 positions right there. But I was trying to allude to earlier, that apron, if you touch that apron down there in the outside, it really upsets the car. And you could easily find yourself in the outside wall here, even as wide as this track is. That could have happened to Tony Lurcock there very early on, but we're seeing them kind of get a little less crazy up front, kind of get settled in. Again, with these cars, they get very upset when they have less than 5 gallons of fuel left in the tank, and we should be getting close around that time now as we're getting close to that, so these cars are not handling as well as they did when they started out this race.
No, certainly not. Things starting to loosen up just a little bit. Guys still battling hard. We got a lot of guys still trying to challenge that low line.
Oh, I see a wreck.
Big Joe Hazard maybe having a problem back there.
I'm not seeing anyone sideways. I think we were good, Sean. It might have been another warp smoke.
Well, I'll tell you what. The battle is on up front. Corey Connor looking to the inside of Jake Wright, coming right up on the wing there, the rear end of our leader, Tony Showen. And I'll tell you what, that is some battle. Those three are really up for the fight. But, man, I'll tell you what, the other four right behind him are coming quick. Tell you what, the top 10 pretty solid right now, broken away from the rest of the pack. That's really the race up front right now. These top 10 are really screaming, man.
Yeah, and huge gains here by Jason Galvin. Started 14th, he's up to 5th, and he's right there in that lead group. He can see the lead. He's going to be sniffing for it.
Boy,
As we go
Galvin,
side by side here for the lead.
amazing. Had that lead one lap and then gone the next. Showen back to 3rd. Joe Branch trying to hold on. Corey Connor making the move inside. He's taking it away. Joe Branch letting him have it. They come off of 4. Oh, Corey almost loses it. That car got loose for sure. Holds on to the lead. That was a close one.
Tell you what, Sean, at this point of the race, with these cars starting to handle a little bit more ill, you might see that outside be a little bit more as we see Joe Branch go low here on Corey Connor to try and get around. I think he's going to beat him to the line this time, but he's not going to clear him. Oh, someone's spinning on the pit road.
Yeah, that was. I didn't see who it was.
Mikel de Jong.
Yeah, it's de Jong who did make the race, and he has a hard entry into the pits.
And
look at him on the replay sitting there, pulling it up on the replay now. Actually, let's look. He breaks it in hard. Looks like we lost it, but he broke in hard, and that's what we talked about in the pre-race, man. You get in there too hard, really slick on the pit lane, and he looped it around, got into that inside barrier, had to take some repair.
Yeah, and what I was saying earlier, Sean, is that now these cars are starting to handle a little bit more ill. We're seeing that outside line become a little bit more into play as we see Joe Branch now. He's able to make another pass here on Corey Connor. But we are seeing that outside line. It might be the preferred line. You can maybe make that outside work here. As pit stops are going to be happening. Who's that? The 73, Brandon Lincoln is going to be coming in this time by.
Car just getting to be too much to handle. We talked about a 32 to 34 lap window, but honestly, it's got to be what you're comfortable with. And look, Joe Branch
big moment. Oh no!
Almost contact right there.
Contact, there was.
Oh
wow!
Corey Connor
he got
trying to save it.
Wow! I don't know how they kept that straight there, but there was a lot of contact there. Oh, and Zaldo, he gets a little bit loose. He's going to gather it up, though. We stay green.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
We're going to go on a replay here as a lot of these guys are coming in, but we have the replay here with Corey Connor, and we're going to see exactly how this is going to go down. We see going down off of out of turn 4. I believe that we're going to see Joe Branch get a little bit loose here, come back up and make a little bit of contact here with Corey Connor. Oh, and that's going to get him upset. Go through the glass a little bit airborne and back up into traffic.
Okay, our leader, Jason Galvin's in. Galvin is
Reckon
in.
Reckon 4. Is that Pete Edmonds in the wall?
Yellow's not out yet. He's got to get it off the racing
hard,
surface. Got guys coming in the pits. This could be terrible right now.
Another car in the grass there, too.
No yellow flag.
Pierre Dago also had to go through the grass there a little bit too, but Pete Edmonds made contact with someone as they were coming into pit road, and that shot him hard in the outside wall there. I'm surprised we did not see a yellow, but we see everyone coming in.
Well, yeah, and Stouffer now takes over the lead of the race. Stouffer, your leader, Lanini right behind him. Jake Wright still on the track. He hasn't pitted yet, keeping that car out there. Jake been very quiet so far. After leading early, he's just kind of faded back, let the race come to him, taking care of the car. Maybe he will stretch it to 32.
Yeah, and that's going to be big because 2-stop versus 3-stop strategy. What's going to be more important, that one less pit stop or having those pressure tires out there? So it's going to be very interesting.
Contact! Lanini with contact right there, man. Jake Wright just right there in the middle of all that action right there and manages to not catch any of it.
Well, and I see any more contact. We see a spin over here. Look, Chris Leany is around. No yellow, though. They got off the racing surface.
Wow. Lanini
He's
can't catch a break.
spinning again.
Now he's spinning again. Lanini, something's really wrong with Lanini's car. I think he maybe, I don't know what he's got to do to get into pit lane, but man, he can't spin it again.
Yeah, he's going to have to come down there, try and get that repair as we're going on. But I'm trying to get caught back up here. Looks like Tony Schoen is currently is the leader.
Yeah, and he's heading in. Big Joe Hassert's heading in too.
Tell you
Looks
what, that's going to hurt
everybody's
those
giving
guys.
it up here.
Yeah, that's going to hurt these guys because I don't think anyone here is going to be able to make it to that lap 33. So those guys, they lost a lot of time trying to stay out there, trying to stretch it. So it's really going to make things interesting.
Well, I'll tell you who's stretching it right now. Ed Tudweiler in the number 54. He's still on the track, 32 laps in. He keeps it out, lap 33 on the way. Ed Tutwiler, your leader. Joe Branch just behind him. Yeah, that's right, Joe Branch. Joe Branch is still not pitted. So Dave Barber, hey, the new guy, he's still out there, only just over a second behind Joe Branch. So these guys stretching it.
Dave Barber's going to be coming in the pit this time. But watch for these guys to try and get on pit road. Hopefully they get on safe. Oh, more contact, and here's the caution. Here's that first caution we were looking for.
Oh, and Ed Tutwiler is your leader when the caution comes out. He keeps that car on the track for lap 34. Your leader, and the yellow flag comes out. Wow.
Let's see. Was that Dave Barber in the 23? Yeah, coming in the pit road. Doesn't make it down. Oh, contact. Who was that with?
We're looking from the overhead here on Dave Barber right now.
Yeah, you're going to watch him. He's going to start slowing down the pit road. The car gets real upset here, and he tries to come down here and make it, and that's Brandon Lincoln.
Yeah,
makes
that was
contact.
Lincoln. Tough break for Brandon, man.
Yeah, we go on board with Brandon Lincoln for this one, so we're going to see exactly what happens when you're trying to get slowed down, especially on those old tires. The car can get real upset and it won't want to turn, and yeah, nothing that Brandon could do on that one. Exactly.
Well, we finally found a caution flag at lap 35. Third of this race is over.
Cautions are indeed on. We found out.
Yeah, you began to wonder what's it going to take to bring one out. Well, we got it finally, and that's going to shuffle things all around here.
This is going to make things very interesting because we only had 3 cars here on the lead lap, and we know how important tires are here. So it's going to be interesting to see what these guys do because you want those fresh tires, but you need to get that lead lap back. So we see a lot of these guys staying out here to try and get back around, get on the lead lap here. They will get the wave by here, coming to 1 to go here on this yellow. So I think we're going to see a lot of these guys come back out there, but with older tires. So I think that right now, Ed Tutwiler is going to be sitting very pretty.
Yeah, boy, I'll tell you what, makes a great decision or a lucky one. I guess you have to have a little luck. Maybe a great man once said there is no luck in racing. I don't know. But it certainly worked out for him, that staying out. Everybody behind him decides to come in. So we've gotten through the first stint of this race, and everybody is pitted now. We've got fresh tires. We've got cars that have a little bit of wear on them now. Built up a few more marbles on the track. That high line might be even a little more difficult to run now. Things settling in. We saw it early, lots of battling. George told me, he said, I wouldn't be surprised. There are a lot of guys you're not used to maybe seeing up near the top. You never know. Someone might sneak in tonight and steal it. Ed Tutwiler, only, I believe, his second race with the league so far. Second official race. They've been practicing with the guys for quite some time. Sitting right now up there, and could be his night. We'll see. Ricky Harden in the mix. Jake Wright, again, he was being kind of quiet, but Ricky Harden and Galvin coming from 16th and 14th place. Ed Tutwiler started at 20th. Lots of movement going on. Nobert up to 10th. He started in 27th. So, yeah, great race so far. More to come. And these caution flags here are actually, I noticed in the practice races, aren't really that long. They seem to fly by pretty quickly here. The pace speed pretty good.
Yeah, and as our director just said, that was a weird last 5 minutes. That was a lot going on there, Sean. I hope that we covered everything. I felt like we still missed half of it, and we were covering a lot. But this is also going to be crazy here. We're going to see a lot of cars coming around this pace car here when we get the one to go, I believe this time by. And then we're going to see Ed come back up there, claim his spot as a leader of the race, and he's going to have a very good advantage as this race restarts.
Yeah, and in the LionHeart IndyCar Series, they do start single file. So this will spread them out pretty quickly here on this restart. We'll see what this field has.
Yep,
We've still got a lot of cars running.
1, 2, 3.
Looks like the field is still about
5,
23
6,
strong. And
7, 8. Yeah, 11 cars getting the wave by here.
people better get busy quick.
Yeah. Yeah, someone was sleeping up there at the front. There's some yelling going on here, and they're slowly starting to get caught back up now. But we're going to have a good amount of cars that are stuck still a lap down between Ed and your second place, Jason Robar. So Ed's in a very good spot right now. He just needs to try and let this cycle through and keep his car out of trouble.
I like that old school Miles 7 Renault livery there on Ed Tutwiler's car. That's a classic look, sweet looking car. Really driving it hard, looking good tonight. And getting ready to restart here. Christopher right behind him, Michael Gray. And here we go. The Ford Mustang pace car comes off of turn 4. And here we go. What's Ed going to do? He gets on it. There he goes. Nice jump. Ed gets away across the start finish line. Here to Dead Zone Racing 150.
This will be interesting to see how many cars are actually between Jason Robar and so let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars between him and Ed. And Ed's got a good couple second lead right now in front of that 79. Again, just needs to stay out of trouble, but he's got a couple of these lap cars behind him that want to get back on the lead lap, and I think they're going to be pretty aggressive here.
Well, I'll tell you what, a nice start, and all of those guys behind him, and guess what? Clean air in front of him. A great condition to have here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. He, right now, just looks really good, and it does look like Stouffer is content to just follow right along with him. Maybe get a little luck here with another caution flag soon, but I'll tell you what, with the way this field spread out on that restart, well, I don't know. It looks like they may be ready to settle in for another long green flag run here, James.
Yeah, and we see that a lot here in the LionHeart IndyCar Series. So that's why I think that Ed's is in such a good position here, is because there's a good chance that we're not going to have another yellow for this race. We'll see. We saw a lot of maybe yellows here on that last run, so we'll see exactly how that's going to go here when the tires start wearing out here again. But Ed's in a very, very good position here. But we saw a lot of guys like Jason Galvin was able to work his way all the way up to the front towards the back. So Jason Robars and Ricky Harden, they're able to work their way up to Ed, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did that here in the next 15, 20 laps or so.
Well, Ricky is surrounded by cars that are behind him, and really just kind of, he has a bit of clean air in front of him to work with as well. He's got Jack Bogan and Jesse Vincent right behind him, hot on his tail, but Ricky looking pretty good right now, holding on to third place. We move up through the field. Jason Robar still hanging on to second. And Ed Tutwiler, still your leader, still pretty safe up front there. These guys behind him not fighting too hard. Looks like they're just trying to take care of the car and get to that next pit stop right now. Best strategy to have. Take care of it, keep it clean, and keep it out of trouble for sure.
Well, I'm looking right now. Jason Robars is gaining a little bit on Ed. and he has a couple of ladders to try and get his way back up there. So if he's able to rope these lap cars in and try and use them to help get back up to the 54, I think that we could see a two-car battle here. And looks like Ricky Harden is trying to do the same thing too. Again, just trying to use these lap cars as a rope to try and get up to the next position, get a little bit closer.
Yeah, kind of checking in on this battle here towards the back of this pack. Tony Shallon, who was up front, led laps in this race, back there in 8th, but man, he's got a ways to go to get to El-Ed there. Tony still 2.5 seconds. 2.5 seconds on this track is, honestly, with traffic in front of you, is a bit of an eternity. Really hard to make it up if you don't have anybody to work with you. And right now, Tony Shallon, a man alone, is Big Joe well over a second behind him. The great paint scheme there, Dave Barber, riding with Tony, but I don't know how much it's helping him right now. Again, such a long way to go, and he led some serious laps in this race. Joe Branch finds himself right there just in front in 7th, and he's trying to make up ground, but he's got Corey Connor and Jake Wright to get through. Those guys are all tangled up. Jesse Vincent in that mix.
Oh boy, Sean. Hello, Ed. Here comes Jason Robar. He is caught him. He is on his bumper, and he's going to go inside. He was 2 seconds back at the start of this, and he is going for the lead here. It took him about 10 laps to get up there.
Ooh, and I you know what? I just saw some net coat out of his car. No, some warp actually, and his front wing disappeared on my screen. It's back now. I don't know if our viewers saw that.
Yeah,
that was weird.
I've seen a lot of that here recently. I don't know if there's something going on with iRacing, but we've seen a lot of that warp going on. But regardless, Jason Robar in the 79 impressively has run down your leader and has taken the lead. Right now, it's just a two-car battle, though. Ricky Harden has not made much progress to try and get back up there. Jason Galvin is right behind him as well, and Jake Wright is right there also. Let's see if these guys are able to try and work together to get up there, but we're going to see because they're getting stuck behind a lap car right now, and it's making it very hard to make some progress.
Well, that's a hornet's nest right there. Honestly, those guys are really battling in tight quarters. They got Jack Bogan right in front of them and going to do their best to get around him, but Jack kind of favoring that higher line right now, so it's really hard to get a run and get around. And getting below isn't a lot of fun right now. These cars, again, the track's really coming in, and looks like a few cars are starting to try and make their way. Oh, Galvin almost makes contact with Vincent. Vincent makes an evasive move, avoids him. I don't think there was contact, but Vincent able to save the car. Now Galvin hits the apron.
Galvin's upset. Contact hard in the outside wall. Ricky Harden's involved. Was that Michael Gray? Another car on this road. That's Galvin right there. About 4 cars involved in that. We had the replay coming up.
I thought Galvin had saved it, and I guess just as he went out of my picture, I lost him. We're going to the replay here.
We'll
and
see.
Galvin
His car gets a
slides
little
up
upset.
the track, gets Corey Connor, collects Ricky. Oh, man, or was that Jesse? Was that Jesse Vincent or was that Ricky?
No, that was Ricky Harden.
Yeah, it was Ricky.
Well, that's going to be great for these guys that got caught out of the lap down on that last restart. They're going to be on the same strategy here as the 54, and I believe that we're going to see everyone come down pit road here.
Boy, Galvin hit that wall hard. I don't know that there's going to be much repair in store for that car. Unfortunately, he might be done for the night. Yeah, that was tough. That's a really tough break. You know, we hit the halfway point of the race, and then just all heck broke loose there, and we're seeing a couple cars, Robars coming down. Several cars now making their way down. A few guys staying out.
Tell you what, there are not a lot of happy drivers after that one. Admin's telling them to talk about it after the race. So not a lot of happy people how that one went there. So we'll see how that one ends up here.
Okay. So here's who stayed out, all right? We got Alfred Shepard on the track. Christopher stays out. George Gonzalo keeps his machine out there. Jack Bogan still on track. Michael Gray, Dave Barber, Jesse Vincent, and Robert Bluen. Jason Robarge making his way back on track. He was the first to go in on that caution. So right now it looks like, we're going to get a chance to reshuffle here. Some of these guys going to make some of this up and get their lap back right now, and that'll be good for them. So we'll have a lot of cars back on the lead lap. Almost looks like we'll probably have 17 back on the lead lap. And a restart with less than 50 laps to go means it's time to get busy. And if you're riding in the back, you really want to start finding and thinking about a strategy that's going to get you to the front soon. Because at the speeds they're running, it doesn't take long to tick off these laps, James.
No, it does not. And it's definitely going to be very interesting here because we're going to see everyone all packed up like they were at the beginning of the race. So we won't see a bunch of these lap cars up here in the mix with the leaders. We're a little bit more sorted out here. So it's gonna get crazy again here as these guys are going to try and get all these positions as we have a lot more to go.
So much going on in the LionHeart IndyCar Series Season 4 just around the corner. They're going to take a break after the finale next week at Auto Club Speedway. Start around sometime around the middle of March. And something new for the LionHeart IndyCar Series and for the league, the LionHeart League. They're going to have the LionHeart MX-5 Challenge coming.
Registration
open
so
for
fun
that
too.
Yeah, well, James, tell us a little bit about that real quick, because I believe you're going to run in that just a bit, aren't you?
I'm going to try and make as many of those races as I can, but we've run some practice races, and what they do is that every month what they're going to do is they're going to try and run one oval short track, one road course, and then one roval. And, it's so much fun, those races that we've been doing, and Sean, I don't want to give away any secrets here, but I have seen a sneak peek of the new schedule they're going to have this year for the IndyCar Series, and it's going to be very, very fun next year. A lot of exciting things. I can't say much more, or else George won't let me come back next week at Auto Club. These guys, they put on a great league. Some of the friendliest people. They got games of Cards Against Humanity after a lot of these races. It's not just racing. It's a lot of really fun, a lot of joking and everything on there. It's more than just racing with these guys. It's definitely a community for sure that these guys have developed here, and can't wait to get back in the car next week at Auto Club, and then I can't wait for the 2014 or the 2016 season 4. With LionHeart, a lot of exciting things, and they again are accepting signups for next year. Again, LionHeartRacingSeries.com. Go and check them out, and you could be out here racing and joining in on the fun next year.
Well, we're getting ready to restart here, James, with Jason Robarge on point. Just behind him, Ed Tutwiler. And the Ford Mustang pace car leads them around here, getting ready to make that left turn into pit lane. The Dead Zone Racing 150 getting ready to get back underway. Jason Robarge going to show us the way. He's on it quick. Before the start line there, he gets on it across the start-finish line. Jason Robarge is your leader. Already making a move back there. Jake Wright getting under Ed Tutwiler, taking second place away from Ed. Nice start for Jake. Big Joe Hasser, the number 11, he is in fourth. Nice.
His connection's back. He's back, and he was fast early on in the race. And now that he's got that connection taken care of, we'll see him up there. He's definitely wants that lead back. You know that he's real hungry to get another win this season.
Hey, look, and there's his buddy Dan Guerin. All right, Dan and Joe, longtime friends, good guys. Like to hang out at races together, and a nice little battle going on there between those two right now. Joe running a hot new livery tonight, the Arctic Cat green, looking hot. Love it. The Sinclair tractor machine at Dan Guerin, also a fan favorite. He's off to a good one tonight. 5th place right now. Big Joe making a move on those leaders up on the top there. He got right up on Ed Tutwiler. Almost made contact. Looks like he's going to try and split the middle. Oh, so close coming across the start-finish line. What a run for those 5.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of really close racing here as we get closer to the end of this race. And again, it's coming down to crunch time here. These guys are not going to be given a whole lot of room, and we're going to see a lot more risky passes to try and get up there.
Well, Robar's really abusing it right now. He's stuck on that white line, hugging it every lap around. Don't know how long he can hang on, but it's certainly the fastest way around. Ed Tutwiler looking to the top, trying to make a move for the lead here, all by himself up there, looking really strong.
Yeah, we have a 5-car battle right now. They have broken away from Tiger Connor. Again, involved in that last track, did get a little bit of damage from that, but still competitive enough to stay here on the lead lap.
There's Big Joe. There's Big Joe down below. He's right there below Tutwiler. Nice run by Big Joe Hassard. He's got his eyes set on Robarge, making his way to him real quick here. What a run for Big Joe Hassard. Dan Guerin still back there fighting hard. Ed Tutwiler almost loses it. Great car control right there. Hangs onto it. Hangs onto the draft to Big Joe. Doesn't lose any ground. Those two are going up on top, trying to get around Robarge.
Yeah, and Sean, we are at the point that we're only going to have one more pit stop here to get this race underway. Now, there's a couple different things that this last pit stop can go. You do want to take on as little fuel as possible to try and have a slower or a quicker pit stop. But at that same token, you don't want to have so little fuel that you get that car upset again. So it's definitely going to be which direction do you want to go? Do you want to save 2 or 3 seconds on pit road and then hope that you're able to hang on to it and hope the car doesn't get too upset? Or do you try and go for it and fill it up and have a good handling car towards the end?
Yeah, that's going to be the play, especially if we stay green flag here. That is definitely going to be something to watch, and the times in the pit stall are going to be very, very important. That entry and that exit off of pit road, so critical.
Looks like these guys are just trying to bide their time right here. Nothing too crazy going on here in the top 5. They're all just kind of waiting around, trying to tick off some laps here. As we see Big Joe trying to go from the outside of Jason Robar. But we do see Robar prevail a little bit down there on the bottom. But Big Joe's hanging there. We'll see who leads at the line. It will be Robar.
Yeah, well, like I said, man, he's abusing it right now. Really playing a dangerous game, keeping it down there. But it's keeping him in the lead right now. And that's a good place to be. The clean air in front is helping him. Joe just not able to get around. Not enough of a run up top right there. Not enough of a run to at least get around. So that's a good battle right there. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Just back about 4 seconds, we've got Nobert, Corey Connor, Patrick Taylor, Alfred Shepard, Jesse Vincent, all fighting for their piece of real estate, looking for a way to catch these guys. And they've got a lot of work to do, but I'll tell you what, right now they seem to be working pretty well together. That's a nice pack of cars behaving well. And they're getting a little bit of help. Looks like they got a pack catching him. Might bring them just a little bit of help. They might be able to make a little bit of ground to the top 5. It's going to be tough. Might need a little help, but that's where we talk about the pit strategy. Who's going to go first and who's going to do what with the fuel, James? It's going to be so important. And it's going to be coming up here pretty quick. I mean, we're 70 laps in, only 30 to go. We're talking about an old-fashioned Saturday night sprint coming up here in about 5 laps.
You're right, and they did restart with about 40 laps to go. I mean, the way that you probably want to go is you believe that it's going to go green to the end. You want to split that, so we'll probably see guys coming in. Jesse Vincent's going to be the first coming down here to pit road. He's going to try and get his work done early and see if that's going to pay off for him here. Hope for another late race yellow, but I think these other guys who plan on it's going green, I think you're going to want to come in with around 20 to go and split that last run in half.
Well, Robar is still looking really good up front, and it's the same story. Hassert keeps trying to make a move up there. You know, really what Hassert's doing, though, running fast up top there, able to stay with our leader, but he's taking care of those tires, able to keep it out there a little bit longer. Tutwiler doing a really good job of just keeping pace. Oh, here we go. Robars leaves the door open, letting Big Joe get around. Maybe Robars felt those tires starting to get away. Maybe thought running that higher line, it might be time to make that decision. Joe's got the lead as they come across the stripe.
Yeah, now
We
we're
have a
going
new
to see
leader,
Jason
Joe.
try.
Big Joe has it.
Yeah, and Jason's going to try and do what he's been doing to Big Joe's been doing to him, is try and hold him down on that bottom line, make him use those tires a little bit more, see if he's able to get back around him.
Ooh. Yeah, Ed washed up right there. Jake just below him. That was real close. Dan Guerin had a nice ticket to the show right there.
Oh, Big Joe's coming in. Big Joe's coming in this time.
Is anybody going to follow him? Let's see here.
Oh, let's see if he can get on the pit road. Let's see if he
Nope.
can so far. But yeah, he will be the only one coming down the pit road.
Ooh, and he slides it in.
Oh no, I think that's gonna be a penalty.
Oh. He's done. Yeah.
Yep. Oh man. And after all that work to get back up to the front too, that's gonna be real frustrating for Big Joe there. A great run, but this tricky pit road, it gets another one. We've seen accidents happen there all night long. This pit road is not very forgiving to these guys, and it takes another one there.
Yes, sir. Another one bites the dust. Seeing that warp smoke out of our leader, Jason Robars, again. Car looks okay now, but again, seeing that, you never know when you see that. Man, you would sure hate to lose a driver to that condition, equivalent of just blowing the motor and checking out. Jake,
yeah, right now we're just seeing the blue smoke kind of coming out, but the car hasn't blown up yet. That's really what we're getting a clue into right now with that little bit of warp right there.
Dan Guerin just had to get out of it, man. He had a strong run on Jake. Had to just totally lift. Maybe even had to get on the brake just a little bit.
Ed just lost a good second right there on that straightaway. I think he might have gotten a little bit loose off of turn 4. Those tires are giving up for him.
Yeah, it looks like he might be working with a little bit of damage on that right side. I can't see yet. No, looking pretty good. Doesn't look like he got any damage, but the tires certainly may be going away. That machine not handling quite like it was. Hanging on to 4th place, but losing ground on the top 3 for sure. Guerin making that move on Jake Wright to the inside, has to get out of it. That car started to push up the track.
Jason Robar's coming in.
There's Robars. Can he do it clean, though? Can he stick the landing? He does. He's in.
And a perfect 10 from the Russian judge.
Well, then that's a good night. That's a win.
Indeed, but look for Jake Wright. I believe that he'll probably be coming in this time by 2. He's been very good on his pit stops. No, he's going to stay out for another lap with Dan Guerin, as Dan Guerin's going to make that pass on the outside there.
Yes, he is. He's going to take over the lead of this race. Dan Guerin and the Sinclair Tractors DW12 team nailed it. Dan, always fast, looking good tonight. Jake Wright chasing him down. What are these two going to do? They're coming around. Ooh, they're staying out, baby. Hammer down. Let's go. Time to race.
Oh, and here's going to be the 8 coming in this time by. We'll see what the number 27 is going to do, if he's going to stay out for another lap or not. But your leader, Dan Guerin, will be coming in that Sinclair Tractor DW12 this time by. Let's see if he makes a clean pit stop.
Jake's going. Jake's going for it, baby.
And he's going to make a clean entry this time as well.
Yeah, Dan doing a really nice job there. Jake Wright is your leader. He's got Mark Nobert behind him. Mark sitting back there in 10th place right now. Ed Tutwiler still in this chase. He's trying to pick up the draft of Nobert. They're getting around Jack Bogan down there on the inside. Across the start-finish line they went. Heading into turn 1. Jack Bogan still looks like maybe trying to get up to speed.
Oh, and here comes Jake Wright. He's coming in this time. This is going to be interesting to see who's going to get out first. I'll follow Jake Wright, and let's see where he's going to come out in relation to that number 8.
Can he make it in clean here? He gets that car settled down real nice. Great entry there.
That's
for
probably
Jake
the
Wright.
best one we've seen, and that's going to be very important too, is your entry on and off of your exit as well. So we'll see what that 27 is able to do here.
Robarge goes across the start-finish line into 1. He's coming out of 2. Sitting in 4th place now after things start to cycle around.
Jake is still in his pit stall. Aiden, he's released. He's coming around right now.
Here comes Robarge.
I got Jake coming down here on the apron in 1 and 2.
Robarge coming in between 1 and 2 right now.
This is
in
going to
the
be
middle.
close. Robarge is going to get the lead, but I think that Jake's going to be close enough where he can try and run him back down. And then there's Dan Guerin in 8 right behind him. A fantastic pit stop by Jake Wright to try and stay out a couple extra laps and still come out with these guys too. But Jason Robar has a pretty good lead for right now.
Work to do and only 15 laps to go. I'm sorry, no, take that back. 13 laps to go.
I tell you what, though, guess who stayed out again is that 54 of Ed Tutwiler. So it's going to, if we get another late race yellow here, he's going to be sitting very, very good as well. We've done this before.
We just buried the lead. You know, I kind of lost track. There's Ed sitting out there, lapped the field, only one on the lead lap still. We know he's got a pit, but I got to be honest, you know, he had some pretty good luck last time, probably hoping for a little bit of it now. Can only keep the car out there a little bit longer. You got to imagine he's going to have to pit here at some point. I'm trying to look back and see.
Oh, car in the wall in 4. I'm hearing on the radio. I did not hear who that was.
Dave,
but
I think it was
Big
Dave
Joe come
Barber.
on.
Yeah, Dave.
Yeah, we're staying green though.
Car pretty beat up there, James. Dave with damage on the left side. Looks like damage on the right side as well. Damage all around. That is pretty nasty one for him. Still out on the track. So is Tutwiler. That's the story. Don't get a caution flag, and Tutwiler is still out.
I don't think he can make it, though. I mean, unless he's been saving this run, but he was up there with those guys. He comes on the radio, but no, I think he's going to stay out another lap. I don't believe he's pitting this time either. Yeah, I'm trying to do some calculations here. Sean, I don't think he can make it. Nope, he's coming in this time.
Okay. All right, so he's got about a 30-second gap on Robarge. 31 seconds. Let's see. He's coming in.
He doesn't have to take much fuel. He does have the. Oh, he's going to miss pit road.
Missed it. Totally missed it. Totally missed it.
Oh, man.
That'll cost Ed Tutwiler a chance at winning this race.
Yeah,
boy,
but we've seen
what a
that so
shame.
many times tonight too. We saw Big Joe. He's one of the guys that's typically best at getting on the pit road too, and he got bit by this tough Atlanta Speedway too. But oh, look at that! We see Jake Wright and Dan Guerin. These guys are working together. What they're doing here in the Indy cars is you don't have the draft like you do in the stock cars. So you're going to see Dan Guerin go low here below Jake Wright, and they're just going to keep doing that leapfrog. And they're going to keep up that momentum, and we're going to see them try and run down that 79. So a little co-opetition, as our friend DW would like to say here, try and get up there, and then they'll try and race it out here towards the end.
Yes, sir. A little co-opetition for sure. Jason Robarge trying to get around right there. That was Dave Barber, who had a little bit of trouble. I don't think he actually took the car into the pit. He's off pace and kind of in the way right now. Keeps up there in the high line. Those guys able to get around. Dan Guerin, pretty nice run going, but still a little ways to catch Jason Robarge right there. Robarge looking for his first win of the season. Hasn't got one, would sure like to get it tonight. He's got 5 laps to get it done.
They are
Here
in
in
that
a dead
tow,
zone 150.
they are in that tow. I believe that they have caught that draft of Jason Robar, so I don't see we're not going to see any more of that cooperating between those two now. It's every man for himself here in this race, sponsored by the way, Sergeant Jonathan Goat over there serving for our country right now. We have him to thank for this race here tonight. I just wanted to give a shout out to him if he is watching over there.
Yeah, he may not be watching now, but I think he'll be watching when he gets up in a little bit. But certainly over there fighting for our country right now, and we want to do want to thank Staff Sergeant Jonathan Goat for sponsoring the Dead Zone Racing 150 tonight. Jason Robar's your leader, but Dan Guerin getting there, baby. Jake Wright in the picture, like he needs another win, but I'll tell you what, he's in the picture nonetheless. And in third place, here we go.
Ooh, here we go. He's going to be on that outside. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it happen, though.
They are on the attack. Robar's doing all he can to fight him off, keeping that car tucked down inside, not giving up that bottom line. Keeping it down there, looking good, not getting to that apron. Here we go. Be the white flag this time by. Jason Robar's your leader. Keeps it tucked down inside. Dan Guerin. Jake Wright up top. One last time around. Can they pull this off?
Yeah. Here we go. He's gonna get that. He's got that draft. Let's see if he's able to make it happen. Get enough lead in front of that 79.
Oh, Robar's looking really sweet down below. Here we go. Start finish line comes across.
Oh, wow.
Jason Robar's your winner. Dan Guerin second and Jake Wright third. And man, that's going to be by the closest of margins. Dan Guerin all over the wing and rear end of Jason Robar's coming across. Jake Wright side by side with Dan Guerin. What a finish. Big Joe brings home fourth and Alfred Shepard fifth place. Wow. Dan Guerin coming all the way from 15th to manage a second place finish tonight. Great run. 100 laps of some really clean and green, fast racing tonight, James.
Ooh. I tell you what, I can't. I don't know what's more nerve-wracking. Watching these guys or being down there in the middle of it. It's definitely a new experience watching these races from up here. But Sean, I had a lot of fun watching Jason Robarge come home with the victory here tonight. Dan Guerin, Jake Wright giving him a lot of trouble there towards the end, but fantastic race, and I had a lot of fun kind of getting this different perspective out here tonight.
Yeah, well, our best Evan tonight, he had to step away on assignment this evening, and so we had to get you in the booth. We appreciate you coming in. So much fun tonight here at Dead Zone Racing 150. A great race that only saw, what was that, 3 cautions, I think?
I believe three yellows.
3 yellows, and some great strategy played out. Tough break there for Ed Tutwiler at the end. After having such a great race, he does manage a top 10 finish, but boy, what a tough break. That pit road, we talked about it before the race. We talked about it during the race, and it was... it was the albatross, the 800-pound gorilla in the room, whatever you want to call it. It was nasty, and it wasn't kind to these drivers tonight.
Yeah, this track proved to be a real tough one for him out here tonight, but Jason Robarge comes home conquering it with those 3 guys there. Big Joe was able to recover and get an 11th place finish. A fantastic job here tonight.
All right, I'll tell you what, we're going to step away for just a moment, take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll run down the field for you, tell you all about it. We'll grab a few guys up here into the booth, talk to them about the race, and then we'll do a quick preview what's coming next week in the season finale at Auto Club Speedway. We'll be right back here on iRacing Live and the Global Sim Racing Channel. We are back here at Atlanta Motor Speedway in Hampton, Georgia. 100 laps in the book here at the LionHeart IndyCar Series. The Dead Zone Racing 150 has come to a close. And we'll run down the field here for you real quick. And we have our top 3 ready to go for interviews. So let's get started here. Our winner, Jason Robarge, first win of the season. Took him 17 races to get there, but he did it here at Atlanta. Dan Guerin finishes in second, right there behind him. Jake Wright in third, your series champion. Jake, consistent as always, starts on the pole, finishes third. Not a bad night. Big Joe Hassert, fourth place finish for him. Nice recovery after having trouble early. Alfred Shepard finishes in fifth. Patrick Taylor, nice run for him tonight. The number 81 finishes sixth. Corey Connor finishes seventh tonight. Jesse Vincent, nice return for him. Starts 24th, finishes 8th. Mark Nobert recovers well, finishes 9th. Ed Tutwiler, man, he had a shot, but we'll have to settle for that 10th place finish. Not a bad run when you start 20th.
No, and we have Jack Bogan. He's going to come home in 11th place tonight. Your first car 1 lap down. Behind him was Chris Stouffer in the 11. Robert Blowen in the 48. Will come home in 13th and 14th. We have Pierre Daigle. Dave Barber in his debut with the series will come home in 15th. And then George Anzaldo comes home in 16th. Michael Gray in that 888 comes home 17th. Behind him, Joe Branch in that 28 comes home in 18th. Tony Schoen comes home 19th. And then rounding out your top 20 was Ricky Harden in the 05.
All right, I'll take us home here. Jason Galvin, 21st tonight. Chris Lanini, 22nd. Didn't really ever get started. Got bad luck tonight for Chris. 23rd place, Brandon Lincoln. Tough break for him early on. Michael DeYoung, he had trouble early also. He'll take 24th. Pete Edwins, tough night for him. Had been fast in practices and practice races. He'll settle for 25th. Tony Lurcock, 26th. And Drew Motz never got off the grid. Never saw him get onto the grid. So Drew was a no show, no start. 26 cars finished this race, and man, it was a good one. But I'll tell you what, let's talk to these guys about it. Jake Wright, we'll bring him in here real quick. Talk to Jake and see what he thought about tonight's race. Jake, got you in the booth here. Man, what a run. You just seem to keep pulling these things off week after week. The consistency always shows. Started tonight from the pole, and you've managed to come home third. It's a pretty crazy race out there, but a lot of good green flag racing. How do you feel?
Well, I feel exhausted after that race because I think it was during the second caution where Ed had stayed out and put everybody else a lap down or whatever. So it was a very different race because we started on pole and then dropped back during that caution and had to build our way back up, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it looked like you were having a good time, buddy. I gotta know, really, what's the secret to your consistency? What are you doing? We were contemplating you're using like maybe a trackball or an Xbox controller or something like that. I mean, really, what's the secret to your consistency, man? Share a little bit with us.
Honestly, it's just patience, making sure you're not in the wrecks, because in order to finish good, you have to actually finish.
Yeah, and I think a great man said something to that effect once, and that's certainly good words to live by, my friend. We look to next week, heading up for the season finale. You'll get your big championship trophy. We'll officially crown you then. What are you looking for out of Auto Club? Got a long race ahead of you there. I believe it's 150 laps there at Auto Club. What do you think about that going into it?
Again, I bet it'll be just like Atlanta. We'll have a big pack of cars, and since Auto Club is much wider and a bigger track, it should be quite an interesting race.
Maybe a little bit more daring type of race. Drivers fighting to maybe go 3 and possibly 4 wide around Auto Club. We'll see. Hey, safe travel to you there, and we look forward to seeing you. We look forward to crowning you officially the champion of the series, season 3. And again, have a good week getting ready, and we'll see you there.
Thanks. See you guys next week.
All right, that was Jake Wright. Third place finish for him tonight. Been so consistent this season. Boy, another guy who is used to running up front manages to come home second tonight. Dan Guerin, the Sinclair Tractors machine, bringing it home in second. James is caught up with him. They're celebrating, having a good time. James, take it away.
Well, Dan Guerin, you almost nailed it tonight as you come home in second place there. Exciting finish there. I saw a little bit of what we deemed co-opetition between you and Jake to try and reel in that 79, but fantastic run by you and coming down to have a good end to your season here.
Oh man, that was. I'm still shaking on that one. I tried to get Jason there because I knew if you could get a good enough run off 4, you might be able to hit him at the line. But yeah, I work with Joe. He helped us get back up there in the pack right before that last caution. And Jake, he helped run Jason back down, and I can't thank them two enough to help me at least get up back that far. On that first caution there, I got a speeding penalty, or the one under green there got a speeding penalty. Dropped me back down to a lap down and somehow recovered.
Yeah, and we do. We see that you've been very good on these type of racetracks this year. I believe coming down at Texas is the one that sticks out the most to me currently. But also we have a couple of these other mile and a halves too. You seem to get around these tracks very, very well. What's your secret?
Well, I just like to watch all the other guys run, see what their lines are, and just kind of adjust from there. I mean, when I first started this league here, I didn't know which lines to run. And then after watching Joe for some time and then watching all these other guys run, it just started working with me a little bit more. But yeah, the mile and a half, Atlanta, Charlotte, here, I tend to run really good. I just don't always have the best of luck.
Well, we do head into Auto Club for our next race to end out the season. One of the Triple Crown races, double points. We have a lot on the line to try and get up there. I believe that you do have a chance to try and get up there into those top 5 in points. I believe you're even close enough to maybe even steal all the way up to second if with these double points. It's making things very interesting. So we'll see how that goes. But you look forward to Auto Club next week.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I don't really know the track too well. I've run a few fixed races there and had good luck. But last year I got taken out early in a really big wreck with a couple laps into it, so I didn't get a run there. But I just want to first thank everybody out there, thank all my teammates, give a shout out to my wife. She actually got to watch one tonight, so.
Well, very cool. Well, Dan Guerin, we're going to head off to Auto Club for our next race and the season finale. We have a couple weeks off after that, and then we're right back at it for season 4 of LionHeart. Again, great run tonight. Definitely made things interesting and exciting for us, and good luck next week.
Thanks a lot, James.
And that was Dan Guerin. I believe that we have caught up with our 4th place finisher. We do have Big Joe Hazard. Then Sean Ambrose has caught up with him.
Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of mixed things up a little bit. I had to bring Big Joe in real quick. Joe, what the heck happened out there tonight, man?
Oh boy, it was a heck of a race. Well, I was up there leading, and apparently my connection started going out, and it was so bad they were saying I was up in the stands, and it must have just been a little blip on my end because it ended up clearing out, but I pulled off and let the whole field by, and then the rest of the night was chase.
Chase, and hope for a little bit of luck, yeah.
And I got it. I got back up to the lead, but then I spun in the pits, and I spun twice in the pits. And I thought I was going to go 2 laps down, so I don't know how I got back to 4th, but holy cow. Well, it was fun.
I got to tell you, that was a pretty amazing run, man. Really nice recovery. I know how much you love this and how competitive you are, and I'm sure the competitive side with you was like, all right, I'm going to pull off, but I'm going to get right back into this damn thing as soon as we get going here. And you did a great job. I got to tell you, I'm a big fan of the Articat Green, Articat 440. It's what I had when I was a kid. Folks, Google it, okay? Articat 440. I don't want to give my age away too much, but if you Google it, I'm sure you'll figure out how old it is. But anyway, yeah, I really love the new livery on the car. Congratulations on a 4th place finish, buddy.
Thanks, man. I wish I could have taken it home. I would have pulled out a quote from Mr. Cousins over at Washington. A little, you like that?
Well, again,
But
great job, man.
yeah, looking forward to Auto Club next week. Wish I would have gotten to race James. I didn't realize he wasn't going to be racing here. We got a pretty tight race for second, so hopefully he can race next week and we'll have a good battle.
Oh, Joe, don't worry. I'll be there, sir. I'm very much looking forward to it.
Awesome.
Yeah, James will be back next week for sure.
Good. And I don't want to be handed anything. I want to earn it. So hopefully we can get a good race there. Plus, I got to defend my Auto Club championship there.
All right, buddy. We'll see you next week at Auto Club. We're going to move on here real quickly. Get Jason Robarge, our winner, in here. Caught up with Jason down here in Victory Lane at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Jason Robarge, you get your first win of the season in the Rainbow DuPont 79. Great job, buddy.
Hey, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. That was a crazy one.
Yeah, it was. Lots of strategy playing out there at the end, and man, that finish, Dan, Jake, all over you there. What was that like there, that last lap?
Well, I need a towel right now for all the sweat because my heart was pounding. I was sweating trying to stay on that low line. I mean, you know how you see it all the time. Racing them, it's just they're so talented.
Yeah, well, you said it right there. This group of guys, and you've been racing with them just as long as anybody has. Really, really stiff competition, week in, week out. Great run for you tonight. What's it feel like to finally get your first win this season?
Dude, you have no idea. And I didn't even expect it. Honestly, I was just hoping for a top 15, and apparently I was having connection problems or something. I was just hoping to make it to the end. I never even pictured this happening. It's just amazing.
Yeah, that was weird. There were a couple of times where it looked like you were having some kind of a warp issue going on, but it never affected the car. It never affected what you were doing. So, but sweet victory for you. I know you've been very close before.
Yeah, it's been a tough one.
Yeah, we don't need to revisit any of that.
We both know what we're talking about.
Yeah, we don't need to. No revisionist history here. Great win for you. I mean, what a way to go into Auto Club. Sitting on top here tonight. I mean, you didn't qualify that bad. That was an awful competitive time at 280. George told me before the race, really, that the top 10 had to be under 3 to make the top 10. So you had a good qualifying run and just kind of stayed in it all night. Really competitive. Good job.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I just tried to hang in there. Mind my own business. I'm just feel so honored to be in a league like this where every single guy has a chance to win. Like everybody's good. It's just amazing.
So you're in for season 3. For season 4. You're all good?
I'm here till the end, man. Season 20.
All right. And you going to run the MX-5s with those guys?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Pretty much whatever George puts up, I'll be there.
Okay, that sounds great. All right, so we head into Auto Club season finale next week. What's the goal? What's the mission?
Same thing as this time. Mind my own business, and we'll see what happens.
All right, buddy. Well, you're a great winner, and our congratulations to you for putting on one heck of a show for us here tonight at the Atlanta Motor Speedway in a Dead Zone Racing 150. Again, congratulations to you. We'll see you next week, buddy.
All right, thanks, Sean. Just wanted to thank Pete, Jack, Jason, and George for all the help they provide, and just especially Dan. Racing with Dan is just awesome. So a good race between me, him, and Jake.
Yes, it was. You guys gave us a classic night. We thank you, and we'll see you next week at Auto Club, buddy.
All right, have a good night, guys.
All right, that was your winner, Jason Robarge, putting on quite a show tonight here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. James, just about time to put a pretty bow on this thing. Share your thoughts with us, sir.
And again, normally I'm out there racing with these guys. Just this one off to come up here in the booth and join you guys tonight. And I have to say that it was, it's just as breathtaking to watch it as it is to be down there in these cars racing with these guys. So it's been a lot of fun. Again, working with you, Sean. I always have a blast. And again, no matter what I'm doing with this league, I always have a lot of fun, whether it's broadcasting tonight, or if it's racing with them on a normal basis. So, and again, I can't tell you guys enough. Go and check these guys out, LionHeartRacingSeries.com, and go and check them out next year. They're going to be running here here in the next couple weeks after a couple weeks off, and then the fun begins again.
All right. Well, yeah, the fun, we talked about that, going to kick off season 4 sometime around the middle of March, trying to firm up some dates right now. Those will be done and confirmed real soon. You keep up with all that information at the website, like James was talking about. Still looking for drivers. Registration's still open for both the IndyCar series and the new special MX5 series. Lots going on, lots of fun to be had. I want to give again a special shout out to Staff Sergeant Jonathan Goat and the Dead Zone Racing team for putting on this race tonight, the Dead Zone Racing 150. I know you're coming home soon, Sergeant Goat, and we're looking forward to seeing you back on the track. Always look forward to seeing your post, and we wish you well and a safe trip home, sir. But that is going to wrap it up for us tonight. Plenty of people to thank here. Post-race thanks go to so many. Our streaming equipment, iRacing.com, Motorsports, XSplit, free and easy live streaming and recording software, Audio Technica Corporation, Aver Media USA, the LionHeart administrative team. Again, LionHeartRacingSeries.com. Don't forget it. George Anzaldo, Master Anzaldo, Jesse Vincent, and Pierre Dye. That's your 3 guys in charge. That's who you want to talk to if you want to get involved. More thanks go out to those camera sets we talked about. Dougie Beard, the master. We love him. Music brought to you tonight by the great Eric Ekholm and Casey Lalonde for providing us with this music you hear throughout the broadcast. Their information's on screen. Make sure you give them some love, a little bit of support. Check them out. Stay up to date with the Global Sim Racing Channel online at the Global Sim Racing Channel or GlobalSimRacingChannel.com. On Twitter at our new page there on Twitter, GSRC Broadcasting. Facebook.com/Global Sim Racing Channel. And James, we got a finale coming up next week. You're going to be running in it. Where we at and what we doing?
Oh, I believe that we're going to be going to the Auto Club Speedway, and it is a fantastic race and a fantastic track for these Indy cars. They put on a fantastic show there, and we go 300 miles, so we're not just doing the 150 that we did tonight. We're going to load the cars up with a full tank of fuel, run 100%, and 300 miles next week, double points, so it's just going to get even more exciting. We're going to see who can sneak up there and get that second place in points.
Yeah, and the importance of getting locked into that top 20 for Season 4. You want to do it. Be lots going on next week. Can't wait to bring it to you all right here on the Global Sim Racing Channel and iRacing Live. We'll be live next Wednesday night. And I want to thank all of you for letting me come in and invade Evan's territory tonight, take over the seat. James, thanks again for coming in and forfeiting your race and coming in to be with us. We appreciate it, everyone. Have a great evening. Until next time, race clean, race hard, and I'll see you on the track.